Yes, Andy.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namasabhabhyas sabhapatibhyascha bo namaha. Vedandasyam giram devim sadguroh pada pankajam jagadguruscha shringadrasthitan vandertha siddhaye vande gajendra vadanam vamankarudha vallabhashlishtam kunkuma paragashonam kuvalayini jara korakapidam Mala Sudha Kumbha Vibodha Mudra Vidya Virajat Karavari Jatam Apara Karunya Sudhamburashim Shri Sharadambam Pranatosmi Nityam Pramananakha Nirbhinna Mahamoha Mararaye Namaskurmo Nrisimhaya Swaprakasha Chidatmane Om Namo Narasimhaya Vajradamshtraya Vajrine Vajradehaya Vajraya Namo Vajranakhaya Cha Satyajnana Sukhaswarupamamalam Kshirabdhimadhyasthitam Yogarudhamati Prasanna Bhusha Sahasrojvalam Triakshan Chakra Pinakasabhayavaran Bibhranamarkachavim Tadripota Phanindra Mindudhavalam Lakshmin Nrisimham Bhaje Samarambham Vyasa Shankaramadhyam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Bharati Karunapatram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudham Bharati Tirthamashraye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidhushekhara Bharatim Garudopalasanibham Manimauli Kundala Manditam Naumi Phala Vilochanam Mahishottamanga Nishedushim Shankha Chakra Kripana Khetaka Bana Karmuka Shulakam Tarjanima Bibhratim Nijabahubhihi Shashishekharam Durga Parameshwari Deviki Saprashraya Pranatulni Samarpinchukuntu. Good evening to you all. First of all, a small disclaimer. It's been a few weeks since I've had a serious conversation in English. All my interaction at home is in Telugu, and all my talk with my teachers in India is also either Telugu or Sanskrit. So if my English is a bit choppy at any point, I hope you'll forgive that. I told that I would speak about Durga Devi, specifically about Durga Devi as Mahishamardini, because there is a saying in Chandi Saptashati. Durge smrita harasi bhiti mashesha janto. So Durga, when remembered itself, she gives us abhaya. She removes our fears, it is said. So I thought in present global conditions, it would be good to talk about Durga Devi. When we talk about Durga Devi, Shakti, we need to understand exactly who we are worshipping. We are not making up an arbitrary name and form or concept to worship when we worship Devi. So rather than I explain it, Sringeri Acharya, so Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami, so current Mahasannidhanam's Paramaguru, he once in a conversation with a bhakta that came to Sringeri once, he very beautifully, logically explained who Shakti is, who Bhagavati is, who Parameshwari is. So when we think about the root of this world, this universe is made up of atoms and energy, right? At the end of the day, that's what we say. Everything is made up of matter. Matter is nothing but the gross form of energy. So we can say that all matter is virtually, in a sense, energy. That's what Einstein's E equals mc squared was proving in the end game. So if we look at the energy that each atom contains, and if we look at the energy that manifests as atoms, we can see that the energy nature has to be same across all atoms. So we can assume that all atoms are homogeneous in terms of energy. So then it becomes a simple postulation that because all of these atoms are homogeneous, they had a single infinite homogeneous source of energy from which all of this matter and energy advanced. So far, science too is in agreement with this. So because we see atoms and energy, because we see matter and energy, we assume that we can infer, we can postulate that there is one homogeneous infinite source for all matter and energy. Now there Acharya says, so far science has come, But we, in terms of Sanatana Dharma's thinkers, we take it one step further. We say, why not do the same for consciousness? So there is consciousness manifest as this body. There is consciousness manifest as all of you speaking. Because if body is just the matter, there should be no difference between a corpse and an alive person. So there is not only the element of matter in the universe, there is also a matter of consciousness. So because the nature of consciousness does not differ from organism to organism, from person to person, from being to being, we can similarly postulate that there must be a single homogeneous infinite source of consciousness from which all the other expressions of consciousness derive their existence from. So far, so good. So we have found that there is a infinite homogeneous source of energy and an homogeneous infinite source of consciousness. Now, it is much, if there are two infinite entities with infinite powers of expression, it simplifies our theory so far to say that they are not different, but they are the same. So the entity that is the sum total of all consciousness, the source of all consciousness for this world, is the same entity that is the sum total of all energy for this world. So in Shastra, when we talk about energy endowed with intelligence, energy endowed with consciousness, we call it Shakti. When we talk about consciousness endowed with energy, we call it Chit, Mula Chit. So that is the Shakti that we are praying to now. It is not just a female form seated on a tiger or a lion with either 18 hands or 8 hands. We are praying, in a sense, to the Mula Chit, the root of all Chaitanyam for this world, and the Mula Shakti, the root energy source for this whole world. So that is the Durga Devi that we are now talking about. So when we first see Devi, immediately in our Samskriti, we do namaskaram to their feet. So in Mukha Panchashati, the great composition of Mukha Shankara, I'm talking about Kamakshi, there is one shloka that comes in the beginning of first 10 or 20 shlokas of Padaravinda Shataka. Giram durau chorau jadimatimirāṇam krita jagat paritranau shonau munihridaya leelaika nipunau nakhai smerau sarau nigama vachasam khandita bhavagrahonmadau padau tava manasi kamakshi kalaye. Beautiful shloka. You can even hear that there is the beauty of sound, shabdalankara, as well as arthalankara. He says, Kamakshi, O Kamakshi Devi, Tava Padau Manasi Kalaye. I am looking at your feet in my heart. So what are these feet like? Giram, Durau. They are beyond the expression of words. They are beyond description of words. Chorau Jadimati Miranam. They are thieves. They steal. What do they steal? Jadimati Miranam Chorau. So the Ajnana Andhakara, the darkness of ignorance that is within us, they steal those. Then next Mukha Kavi says two words. Krita Jagat Paritrano Shorno. These feet have protected the entire world and they are red in color. Remember this. We'll come back to this. Krita Jagat Paritrano Shorno Muni Hridaya Leelaika Nipuno. And they are always sporting in the hearts of Munis, Maharshis. Nakhai Smero. They are smiling by the light of the nails, of the toenails. So if we think back to Lalita, right? So the light of her toenails itself drives away the tamas, the darkness within our hearts. So like that. Nata jagat paritrano shono munihridaya leelaika nipuno nakhai smero saro nigama vachasam. Nigama vachasam saro. The essence of the Parabrahma that the Vedas are trying to teach us about. Khandita bhavat grahonmado. So the unmada, the anxiety, the fever that is born of this samsara, it removes that. Bhavagrahon, khandita bhavagrahon malo. Such feet of yours I am looking at. Now, if we think back to this, Mukha Kavi said that these feet are krita jagat paritrano and shonam. These two visheshanas, these two modifiers go together. So they have protected the entire world, one. Two, they're very red in color. When did Kamakshi's feet protect the world, and when and why are they red in color particularly? So there is a beautiful shloka that provides the transition to our topic. Ekam mahishashirasthitam aparam sananda suragana pranatam Giriduhituf padayugalam shonita maniragaranjitam jayati. So it is this Kamakshi that is Durga. Pranata janata pavarga kritarana sarga sasimha samsarga Kamakshi mudita bharga hataripavarga tvameva sa Durga. So Mudakavi says in Arya Shatakam. This Kamakshi is no different from the Durga that did Mahishasura Samhara. So he's talking about those feet here. Ekam Mahisha Shirasthitam. So if we think about Devi's 2 feet, one foot is planted on Mahishasura's head. Ekam Mahishashirasthitam aparam sananda nirjara pranadam. The devatas are too scared to approach the foot that is on top of Mahishasura's head. So they are doing namaskaras to the other foot, the foot that is on the ground. So what happened? Giriduhituf padayugalam. So the pair of feet of the Himalaya's daughter, Giriduhituf padayugalam, they are red. Why? Shornita maniragaranjitam jayati. Shornita is blood. The foot that has smashed Mahisha's head into the ground. That foot is red because of the blood. The other foot is maniragaranjitam. So when the devatas do namaskara, the red gems, the rubies in their kiritas, in their crowns, are casting light upon Devi's other foot, and therefore that foot is also red. So these 2 feet, one has been planted on top of Mahisha's head and is red because of blood. The other foot is being prostrated to by the devatas. This is also what Shankaracharya talks about in Saundarya Lahari. Tvameka naivasi prakatita varabhitya bhinaya. If you look at Lalita Devi, there is Pashankusha on top, and the sugarcane bow and the 5 tanmatra arrows, the 5 flower arrows. She doesn't show the Abhaya Varada mudras. So Abhaya means I will give you protection. I will remove your fear. Varada means I will give you what you need. He gives a very good reason. Devi does not need to show those mudras because Bhayat tratum datum sakalamapi vancha samadhikam sharanye lokanam tabahi charanaveva nipunam. Your feet themselves are enough to remove our fear and give us what we want. So you don't have to show us Abhaya Varada mudras with your hand, he says. So that is the tattva, that is the nature of Durga that is shown to us in Mahishasura Mardanam, the stomping of Mahishasura. So one foot planted on top of Mahishasura has killed the devatas' fear. The other foot, which is, the devatas are doing namaskaram to, that foot is giving them whatever they want. So that is the Mahishasura Mardini that we are talking about today. Now, I purposefully announced the topic as Durga Mahishamardini because the Mahishasura Mardini Stotram, Jaya Jaya He Mahishasura Mardini Ramya Kapardini Shaila Sute, in a chandas called Kaviraja Virajita, very beautiful chandas. Ayigiri Nandini Nandita Medini Vishwa Vinodini Nandinate, Girivara Vinhya Shirodhini Vasini Vishnu Vilasini Vishnunate, Bhagavati Heshiti Kantha Kutumbini Bhuri Krite, Jaya Jaya He Mahishasura Mardini Ramya Kapardini Shaila Sute. So it's a very beautiful meter. It's very suited for Veera Rasa, for the expression of heroism and valor. So a lot of people chalk this down to Shankaracharya. It's actually written by a poet called Ramakrishna Kavi. Anyway, I told that I would speak about Mahishasura Mardini. I did not say I'd speak about Mahishasura Mardini Stotram. I thought that I would present a lesser known work, a popular one in scholarly circles, but still a lesser known public work called Chandi Shataka. Chandi Shataka. So it's a collection of 100 verses on Mahishasura Mardini. The poet of this work is a poet called Banabhatta, a very illustrious poet, great poet in Sanskrita literature, in Sanskrita Vangmaya. He's most famous for his Kadambari, which is a Gadya Kavya, a prose Kavya, and also Harsha Charitra, another prose Kavya. This is a Padya Kavya. It is written in poetry. It is in meter. So this Chandi Shataka is a very beautiful composition. So first of all, to write upon Devi itself is hard. Katham akrita punya prabhavati, Shankara says. So unless we have a lot of punya in the bank balance, it is very hard to compose poetry extolling Devi. On top of that, to have the creative samagri, to have the creative strength to envision one item in several different ways. So Mukha Kavi's Pada Ravinda Shataka. So he has written 100 verses on Kamakshi's feet alone, and people marvel at that. This is not just 100 verses on Mahishamardini's feet. This is 100 verses on one event within Mahishamardana. These 100 verses only talk about Devi stamping on Mahisha. So there is no before and after. Devi's foot has been, Devi stomped her foot on Mahisha. So far, Mahisha died, Devi won, Devatas were protected, Mahisha's pride was ended. These 102 shlokas only talk about that one incident, Mahishamardana, not even the Yuddha, not even what Mahisha did before Devi came and manifested herself. 100 shlokas solely on Mahisha stamping on Devi's feet. Now, regardless of the bhakti, regardless of the panditya, if we just think about the intellectual capacity it takes to write such a work, it's truly mind-boggling. I will say, when I read this for the first couple of times, I almost teared up. Not because of anything else, but there are so many good works that have not been in the public eye. Forget about public eye, there have been several that have been lost due to attacks and invasions and whatnot. We have suffered through that. There are several that due to scholarly stature, they have not come into circulation. There are some that are just manuscripts are hard to find, but the most heart-wrenching of all is that there are some that we are not willing to look at even. So behind every work of every poet, there is a heart that beats behind that. It is not just a bunch of words thrown together. There is tapas behind that. There is bhakti to Devi behind that. There is part of that Kavi's life that flows in that work. So my guru, my Vedanta guru calls this Jiva Chaitanya, Sattva Shuddhi, he calls it. So the purity of heart that it takes to write such illustrious works is hard to find, and the least we can do to those great poets that have given us such beautiful works that we can think of Devi about. Because if we just keep reading the normal stotras, not to not read normal stotras, we should of course do that, but the mind needs variety. The mind wants to think about things in several different ways. That is the whole point of having several names for a deity, having several forms of deities, right? So these kavis, these poets, come rishis, have given us such variety. They are basically telling us, think, look at Devi, look at her, don't just go blindly. Look at how beautiful she is. She is ferocious as Mahishamardini, yet she is so compassionate. She is a mother, she is protecting us. So this desire of the poet for not just him, but also for all posterity to read this stotra, to read these works. I don't want to use the word stotra because then we get into the Parayana mindset, but these kavyas, these works of art that allow us to fix our mind on Devi, these are very important too. So I figured it would be a good opportunity to give you all a taste of the bliss that I experienced as I read this. And also to keep it interesting, I figured it would be good if I also presented this in a chronological sequence. So first, the poet is talking about why Devi manifested in the first place. So some of these are not to be taken seriously. Some of these are just the Kavi's Kalpana Shakti, his creative imaginative power and chamatkara. Some of these will have significant undertones that I'll do my best to explain as we go through. So first, this is not in the order in the Shataka, so it's not going to go in numerical order, but in Kathanika, as per the Anapurvi, as per the story. So if we think about why Devi manifested to stamp on Mahisha, the Kavi says, very interestingly, he said that it was not to protect the Devatas of the worlds or anything. He said that Devi was in need of new makeup. So far, what did Devi have Jahnavyaya na jata nunaya paraharakshiptaya kshalayantya nunanno nupurena glapita shashirucha jyotsnaya vanakhanam tam shobhamadadhana jayati navamivalaktakam pidayitva padenaiva kshipante mahisham asurasadana nishkaryamarya. So Arya, she has stamped on Mahisha's foot. Why? So far, she has had several beautifying elements added to her foot. One is Jahnavi, so Ganga. Why? In Pranaya Kalaha, so when two lovers quarrel, we see right with Krishna. Krishna he bows his head at Satyabhama's feet. So in the same way, when Parvati and Parameshwara have Pranaya Kalaha in jest, Shiva bows his head jokingly to Parvati's feet. What happens then? So on Shiva's head, Ganga is flowing. So that Ganga falls from Shiva's head and falls on Devi's feet. So then there is a certain beauty. Ganga is very holy, very beautiful. But Devi was not satisfied with the beauty that came of that. She wanted something more. Then there was one more aspect added. Nunan no Nupurena. She has an anklet, a very lovely anklet. We'll talk about this anklet more. It pops up later. There is a beautiful anklet around. That also, she's like, I've been wearing this for a while. I want something new. Then Jyotsnayava Nakhanam. So we talked about the light of the nails, right? How beautifully her toenails shine. That Jyotsna, that is like moonlight, but that too, she wants more. So back in the olden days, there was this rasa, a dye called alaktaka rasa, also called laksha rasa. So there is a certain organism that gets on the branch of a lac tree. It's called lac in English, and it secretes a certain substance, and they harvest that substance from that tree. They make it into a liquidy dye, and it's very red in color. So they used to apply that on their feet. So Devi said, I need a new form, the latest version of this alaktaka rasa. So what did she do? Mahisha, it seems, is a branch. His life, the pancha pranas is the alaktaka rasa on that. So there's Mahisha. So on the branch, within the branch, there will be these organisms. And then just like that, on Mahisha, he has his pancha pranas, these 5 pranas. I see that some of you have raised your hand. I'll leave 5 minutes in the end for questions. So let's hold your questions until then. So in the same way, so when we want to extract this lac from the branch, what do? We squeeze the branch, the dye comes out, and then we throw the useless branch away. In the same way, Devi has stamped on Mahisha. Through that, she has squeezed out the laksha rasa called his life, and that has become the ornament of her feet. And then Mahisha is left, just the body is left like a branch that does not have the laksha rasa in it. So padenaiva kshipanti, she has kicked Mahisha away, like we throw away the branch once the alaktaka rasa has come out of it. Such a beautiful bhavana, right? So Mahisha's prana, Mahisha's life was the new beautifier to Devi's foot. And once the body she has no use for, she has kicked it away. Then, in addition to this this novel pedicure that Devi got, there is also one more aspect. There is also, he says, there's an element of sibling rivalry. Who is Devi's sibling? Narayani. She is Vishnu Sahodari, Vaishnavanuja, right in Bhagavata. She, Yogamaya is, remember, Krishna Janmashtami, we say. When Krishna was born on Shravana Bahulashtami, Durga was born at the same time in Gokulam, and then they switched. So these two, Durga and Vishnu, are siblings. So there is a bit of sibling rivalry. So her stamping the foot has to do with Vishnu. Why? Vishnu too has a very famous stamping of the foot. Ekenaivodgamena pravilayamasuram prapayamiti pado yasyaha kantyanakhanam hasate suraripum hantu mudyan sagarvam vishnostrifpada padmam baliniyama vidhau udhritam kaitavena kshipram savoripurnam vitaratu vipadam parvati kshunnashatruhu. So Parvati kshunnashatruhu, that Devi who has absolutely ground her enemy into the dust with her feet. Why did she do that? The foot had a point to prove. it said, I will stamp on this Rakshasa once. I will lift my foot and stamp it down once. And with that alone, Asuram Pravilayam Nayami. I will kill this Rakshasa with one stamp. Look at my elder brother. Look at what he did. Vishnu Strifpada Padmam. To defeat Bali, Vishnu had to take 3 steps. If my brother defeated a Rakshasa with 3 steps, I need to one-up him. So I will defeat this Rakshasa with 1 step. And that to not just defeat him, I will completely exterminate him. I will kill him. Vishnu only did Niyama Vidho. Vishnu only restrained Bali. Bali was still alive afterwards. So Vishnu took 3 steps and Bali was still alive. And how did Vishnu take those 3 steps? Kaitavena. Through trickery. He resorted to a trickster form. He was not a little Brahmana boy. But Vishnu, through trickery, having taken 3 steps, only restrained an Asura. I need to one-up him in all of these departments. So I will not resort to trickery. I will meet this Rakshasa face to face in the field of battle. So number 1. Number 2, he did Trifpada Padmam. He took 3 steps. I do not need to take 3 steps. I will take 1 step. And furthermore, the Rakshasa was still alive after Vishnu did all of this. I will not even leave the Rakshasa alive. So with that point to prove, Parvati took form and got Dev as Durga and got ready to kill Mahisha. Next, we ask the question, so before Devi manifested, what was the Devas Paristhiti? So what was it like for the Devatas? So if we think, there is even an element of Hasya Rasa. So all these Devatas are losing to Mahisha and they're running from battle. And he says, so when Devi first got to battle, so before Devi got to battle, these Devatas are all running and Devi's attendants, a Paricharika. So just like Vishnu has Jaya and Vijaya as his attendants, Devi always has Jaya and Vijaya. These are Strilingam. And those are Pumlingam. So Jaya, it seems, is looking at these Devatas as these big devas running, and she is laughing at them. Jata kimte harer bhe bhavati mahishato bhir avashyam harenam adyendoddo kalankau tyajati patirapam dhairyamaloktya chandram vayo kampyastvayanyah Naya yama mahishadatmayugyam yayaro pishte nashtam jaha sadyujanamiti jaya sastu devi shriyevaha. So all of these first 3 padas, Jaya is looking at the Devatas and is saying this while laughing at them. We call this Vyangya in Sanskrit. She is mocking them. So he says, Jata kimte hare bhi hare. Hari means Indra. Remember this. Hari has many meanings. Vishnu, Indra, monkey, horse, lion, the sun, the color green, all of this is meant by Hari. Here Hari is Indra. So here Jaya is saying, Hari, are you scared? Why? Because Hari also means horse and Mahisha is a buffalo. Keep that in mind. So one saying, a saying in Sanskrit is that these buffaloes do not tolerate the sight of horses. They kill horses. That's why these buffaloes were called Vaharipu. So in Peddana and Manucharitra, he says, Uddanda Gandaka Vedanda Varaha Vaharipu. So the enemy of horses is a Mahisha. So he says, yes, it's okay, Hari. You can run away. It's fine. Why? Hari has every right to be scared of a Mahisha because Hari also means horse. So she plays on that word there. Then, Adyendo Dvokalanka. Oh, look, from this day onwards, the moon has 2 blemishes. Because until now, the moon only has 1 blemish, right? The spot in the moon. Now, though, the moon, Chandra has run away from battle. So this cowardice is now another blemish. So starting from today, Chandra now has 2 blemishes. Let it be, it's okay. Adyendo Dvokalanko. But by Chandra running away, there's collateral damage. Patirapam dhairyam chandramalokya tejati. There is Unga Pedda Manishanadu. So there is Varuna, the sea. He relies on Chandra for his strength. Only if the full moon comes out, the sea rises, the tides happen. So looking at Chandra running away, sure, Varuna, you also now have no use to be here. You too can run away from battle. There is no more Chandra, you have no more strength. Bye-bye, you too go. Then the next one, Vayu, air. This is even more Vyangya. Kampyas Tvayanyaha. So she doesn't even say that you are shaking. This is it. Nuvu vere vallan vanikinchali. That's all she says. Vayu, you are supposed to make other people shake, right? If the wind blows, grass and trees, these are supposed to shake. So when you say Vayu, you are supposed to make other people shake. What does it mean? Why are you shaking? So Vayu has seen Mahisha and he is trembling. So she mocks him saying, Vayu, kampyas tvaya anyaha. Someone else should be shook by you. And then the next, there is one more person, Yama, that his vahana is another buffalo. This is another problem. Two buffaloes do not coexist. They will always fight. So she looks at Yama and says, Yama, oh, very smart of you to lead your buffalo away from Mahisha, right? Because I know why you're doing it. It's because two buffaloes fight. That's not why Yama's buffalo is going the other way. It's because he's running away and his car is a buffalo, so he has to turn it the other way. So Yama on his buffalo is running away the other absolute about turn, different direction from Mahisha. Devi is mocking him, saying, oh, very smart of you. Buffaloes fight if they're together. So good job. You're taking your buffalo away. She's mocking him too. So in this way, Jaya was mocking the Devatas. So while these Devatas were running away, this is a bit more serious topic. So when these Devatas run away, they go, and in one place, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are all sitting together. They're holding a summit. So these Devatas go and tell Vishnu and Shiva that they tell them all their miseries. Then tatah kruddhasya. So hearing that, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva got very mad. So they knotted their eyebrows. And from that Ajna Chakra, so where we put Kunkuma, from all of them, Vyagamat, Vinirgamat, Tejaha, there a light, a Tejas came out from Brahma's Ajna Chakra, Vishnu's Ajna Chakra, and Shiva's Ajna Chakra. Not just that, Anyeshan Chaiva Devanam, from all the other Devatas present too, a Tejas came out. And that Tejas collected, that mass of light, Kiritol Likhitambaram, they say. So the top of it was touching the tips of the universe. So that mass of light that came from all the Devatas collected, and Ekastham Tadabhun Nari, that became a female form after some time. So rather than being just a light, it molded itself into a female form. So that is how Durga Devi's Avirbhava happened. That is how Durga Devi came into being. What do we learn from this? Durga Devi is the Samashti Shakti of all Devatas. All the energy that exists in all these Devatas, they are only doing their job because Devi's energy exists in them, right? Haras Sankshadhenam Bhajati. Taniyam Sampamsum. So Shankaracharya says, only because there is a speck of your feet's dust on their heads, Brahma is able to create this entire world. Vishnu is able to preserve it, and Hara is able to dissolve it back in. So that Devi who existed in all of these Devatas as Shakti until then, she has manifested. So this is what they say, Vajratvam Vajrapanehe Diditanayabhidaschakrinashchakrakrityam Shulitvam Shulabhartuhu Surakataka Vibhoshakdita Shanmukhasya Yasyaf Padena Sarvam Kritamiva Kritamamaripoho Badhayetat Suranam Rudrani Patu Sabaha Danu Viphala Yudham Swarginam Kshemakare Danu Viphala Yudham Swarginam. So these Devatas have all fought in vain against Mahishasura. Their energy is spent. It is not enough to defeat him. But Vajritvam Vajrapartuhu. So the strength of Indra's Vajra, the strength of Sudarshana's Chakra, Vishnu's Sudarshana Chakra, Shulitvam Shulabhartuhu, the valor of Shiva's Trishula, Surakataka Vibho Shaktita Shanmukhasya, the valor of the spear of Subramanya, who is the commander-in-chief of the Devata armies. All of these, Yasyaf Padena Sarvam Kritam. So all of these energies manifested in that foot which Devi used to stamp on Mahisha. So there, see, in this small shloka, in this simple shloka, Banabhatta tells us that this Devi is the collection of the entire forces of the universe. So when Devi manifested, they even tell which portion became what. Shiva's status became her face, Vishnu's status became her body, Brahma's status became her feet, etc. They give different body parts, and each Devata, Vishnu took a Sudarshana Chakra out from his Sudarshana Chakra and gave it to Devi. Shiva took a Trishula out from his own Trishula and gave it to Devi. Brahma took a Kamandalu from his Kamandalu and gave it to Durga. Indra took a Vajra from his Vajra, Vajrat Vajram, Shulat Shulam, Chakrat Chakram. So what does this mean? All the Devatas took their Shakti and manifested it as Durga. So now this Durga has set off to war. She does not need anyone else's help. She is Asahaya Shura. So now, she is now fighting Mahisha. Mahisha is a buffalo. Mahisha literally means buffalo. It refers to all the asuric qualities, all the demonic qualities within us. So the poet makes a small simile here. So he says that Mahisha's fighting resembles the actions of an actual buffalo. So what does a buffalo do? It plunges into thick forests. If it sees fire in the forest, animals are terrified of fire, so they run away from the fire. And especially, buffaloes love to wallow in mud, in swamps. So he says that all of this is being seen in Mahisha's conduct in the fight. Avyomavyapisimnam vanamatigahanangahamano bhujanam archar mokshena morchan davadahana rucham lochananam trayasya yasya nirmajja majja charana bharanataha Gam vibhidya pravishtah patalam pankapatonmukha iva mahishah stadumasa shriyevaha. So Mahisha. Bhujanam avyomavyapisimnam vanam matigahanam gahamanam. This is called Shanat Pratya. So gahate gahamanam. It's the present progressive participle. So Mahisha is plunging into a forest like a buffalo. Which forest? The forest of Durga's hands. The forest of Durga's hands. So all her hands are that thick and strong, and they all have various ayudhas, they have various weapons in them. So her entire multitude of hands is looking like a forest. So Mahisha plunging into the multitude of her arms looks like a buffalo plunging into a forest. Then in that forest, he saw a fire. Which fire? Lochananam trayasya davadahana rucham arjar mokshena murchan. So he was reeling at the flames that were spitting out from her three eyes. From her three eyes. Palavilochanam. So she has three eyes. So her three eyes are so angry at Mahisha that they are quite literally spitting fire. So just as a buffalo in a forest looks at a fire and gets scared, in the same way, Mahisha, having entered the forest of Devi's arms, looks at the flames coming from her three eyes and got scared. Then what happens? He needs to run and find a brook or a marsh somewhere, some mud to wallow in. And mud is always low in the ground. So when Devi's foot stamped on him, how did she stamp on him? Nirmajja majja charana bharanataha. Look at the way that he plays with the words. Even in the words, you can see the force with which Devi stamped on him. Nirmajja majja charana bharanataha. So Nirmajja. So by the time Devi finished stamping on him, there was basically nothing left in his body. తెలుగులో దీనికి అచ్చంగా చెప్పాలంటే కొవ్వు కరిగిపోయింది. మజ్జ అంటే కొవ్వు. నిర్మజ్జ కొవ్వు లేని విధంగా మజ్జ చరణ దిగిపోయిన పాదము చేత నతః కృంగినవాడు. So when Devi stamped on him in such a way that his entire body turned into a jello-like substance, he smashed into the ground of it, right? If we look at like Tom and Jerry, when people fall from like a height, they leave an impression in the ground, right? So in the same way, Devi stamped on him so hard that Mahisha was literally pressed into the ground. What does that look like? It looks like he's wallowing in mud. It looks like a buffalo wallowing in mud to get rid of the fear caused by the fire. So Mahisha being smashed into the ground looks like he's rolling in the mud of Patala to get away from the flames of Devi's three eyes. Such a beautiful concept, right? So in this way, Mahisha's activities all resemble an actual buffalo's activities in the forest. Now, really quickly, let's just visualize what Devi looks like as she's fighting Mahishasura. So in Mantra Shastra, for the Mahishamardini mantra, they have given a Dhyana Shloka. Garudopala Sannibham. So she's dark green in color, not a light green like grass, a dark green. So it's very close to a dark blue. Mani Mauli Kundala Manditam, and she is decked out in ornaments. She has Mani Kundala, Mani Mauli, So all ornaments are with gems in them. Naomi Palavilochanam, she has the third eye, right? She is Trilochani, Narayani. She has three eyes. Naomi Palavilochanam, Mahishottamanga. She has a foot victoriously planted on Mahisha's head. Then what is she holding in her hands? Shankha Chakra, Kripana Kheta, Kripana Khetaka, Barna Karmuka Shulakam Tarjanim. So Shankha Chakra, conch and chakra. Then Kripana Kheta, a sword and shield. Then Barna Karmuka, an arrow and a bow. And Shulakam, a Trishula, and Tarjanim. This is Tarjani Mudra. So this is also why this finger is called Tarjani. Tarjayati means to warn or to scold. So because we scold with this finger became called Tarjani, literally the scolder. So Tarjani Mudra. So Devi is also holding this mudra in one hand. So in such a way, Tarjani Bibhrati Nujabahubhi Shashishekaram, and she has the crescent moon on her crown. So let's just do namaskaram to Devi in that form. Visualize it in her heart. She removes fear. So after a fight, there wasn't much of a fight. Devi absolutely crushed him. Then Devi stepped on him and for good measure also stabbed him with her Trishula. So this is the death scene of Mahisha. So just imagine this in your head. It's beautiful poetry and it's also a good example of how they show human connections between devatas. So when Devi stabbed him with the Trishula, his blood was scattered across the sky. And blood is red. So the sky turned red for a few seconds. So there they say, Shula Protadupata Pratamahimahisha Utpatantya Sravantya Vartpanya Rajyamane Sapati Makhabujam Jata Sandhya Pramoha Nrityan Hasena Matva Vijayamahamaham Manayami Tivade Yamashlishya Pranritta Punarapi Purabhita Parvati Patusavaha. So all this, her killing Mahisha affected Shiva, it seems. So Shula Protat, by stabbing the Shula into Mahisha, Upata Plutamahimahisha Utpatantya Savantya, the blood that sprang into the sky made the sky red. When is the sky red? During Sayam Sandhya, during the evening Sandhya time, right? The sky is red because the sun is setting. Shiva has a duty. So he has an alarm set on his phone. He has a reminder, 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m., start dancing. Start doing Sayam Pandava on Kailasa. So Shiva was not paying attention to this. So all he saw was that the sky was red. He didn't know that it was because of Mahisha. Jata Sandhya Pramoha. So Shiva came under the misapprehension that, oh, sky is red. Looks like it is Sandhya time. So he started dancing. And then he realized, Hasena Matva, and then he laughed to himself. He's like, oh, wait, it's not Sandhya time. My wife just killed Mahishasura. It's the blood that was in the sky that made it look red. By this time, Devi has come and asked, why did you start dancing without me? Because this is not, his Tandava is not a one-person performance. It's a Jugalbandi, it's a two-person affair. He has to dance with her. So Devi comes and asks, why are you dancing without me? Do you think it's Sandhya or something? Shiva thought it was Sandhya. That's why he started dancing. He goes, no. Vijayamaham aham manayami. I am dancing out of happiness that you won in battle. Such a human interaction, right? Ammavar ochindi. Entandi Sandhya valayindani cheppi natyam chestunnara? Kaadu nenu Mahishudni chempa meeku teliyademo ante ebbebbe nu gelichavani cheppi aanandanto vijayotsavam cheddamani cheppi nenu natyam chestunna ani cheppi annadanta Shivudu. Such a casual human interaction. Did you start dancing because it was Sandhya without me? Shiva goes, no. He actually started dancing because he thought it was Sandhya. But he says, no. I was celebrating the fact that you won in battle. See, that's why I'm dancing happily. Then what did he do? Yam ashlishya pranrittaha. He didn't stop dancing. He kept dancing, but he hugged her and kept dancing. So may that Parvati, whose stamping of Mahisha and piercing him caused this whole story to unfold with Shiva, may she protect us all, says the poet. Such a beautiful concept even to think of, right? It's a nice story to imagine, to envision between devatas. Then, so Mahisha has now been killed, but the beauty of Devi is she is still mother. She is Jagat Janani. So it says that even then Mahisha looks beautiful. Banabhatta uses such a nice simile. He says, Shonabja tamra kanti Pratata Ghana Prabha Prabha Padapadme. And then he says, Yasya lebhe surarihi madhur rasa nibhrata dvadash ardhangri lilam. So Devi's foot is red in color, and it casts a circle of light around it that looks like a red lotus. There is blood in the middle that looks like the nectar in the middle of the lotus. Mahisha crushed in the middle of this looks like a bee lying in the nectar of a lotus. What kind of a simile is that? Right? A Rakshasa has just been killed, and we're comparing him with the beautiful simile of a bee in a lotus. So the Tatparya there is that Mahisha has been given a Sadgati even by Devi. He says that in a bit more clear statement. Shashwat Vishwopakara Prakriti Ravikriti Sastu Shantye Shivavaha Yasyav Pado Pashalye Tridashapatiri Dura Dushta Shayopi Nake Prapat Pratishtha Masakradabhimukho Vadayan Shunga Kotya Hatva Kone Navirnami Varanitamani Mandalim No Purasya. So she stamped on his foot, keep in mind, right? So Devi stamped on Mahisha's foot, and we said that that foot had an anklet on it, and anklets have bells on them. Mahisha has horns. So as Mahisha in his final moments struggled, as his head was under Devi's foot, he was Tridashapati Ripuhu. He did nothing but war against the Devatas. So he's evil. Dura Dushta Shayopi. He was unquestionably evil. He should have gotten a Durgati. He should have gone to Naraka. But he still got a Sadgati. Nake Prapat Pratishtham. Why? As he died, with his horn, unknowingly, as he was struggling under Devi's foot, that horn touched one of the bells on Devi's anklet, and that bell jingled. So we say, right? So when we go to a temple and we ring the ghanta, that we say that that is a very meritorious act. When we ring the ghanta at home too, right? It's to drive away the evil forces and to get punya. Gamanarthancha rakshasam agamarthancha devanam gamanarthancha rakshasam ghantaravam karishyami. So if ringing a ghanta in the temple itself is that auspicious, think about how auspicious it is to ring a bell on the anklet of Sakshat Durga's foot. So because in his final moments with his horn, unknowingly he made that bell on Devi's anklet jingle, due to that merit alone, Nake Prapat Pratishtham. He got a position in heaven. And this is what they say in Chandi Saptashati too. So the Devatas do a very strong, a very potent stuti, a very potent prayer to Durga after she kills Mahisha. There they say, Ebhir hatair jagadupaiti sukham tatheti kurvantu nama narakaya chiraya papam. So those people without whom the world would be better off, let them sin. Even then, sangrama mrityu madhigamya divam prayantu nunam. Let them matveti nuna mahita and vidihamsi devi. So let them die in battle, because dying in battle also is meritorious. So let them, I will give them the mercy of being killed in battle and thereby give them Sadgati too. So Devi's mercy is such. Another thing, Drishtvaiva kinna bhavati prakaroshi bhasma sarvasuran. You can just look at them itself and burn this entire army of Rakshasas, but you did not do that. Yet Arishu, Shastram, Prahinoshi Shastram, you are not just burning them with your eyes, but you are actively fighting them with weapons. Why? Lokan prayantu rikavopihi shastraputa. By the touch of my weapons, let them get a Sadgati and go to heaven. Itham matir bhavati teshva hiteshu sadvi. In such a way, Amma, you are merciful even to the people, even to the Rakshasas that fight against you. So we need to keep this notion of Devi in mind. She's always our mother, Sada Mata. And Shankara says in Devi Aparadha Kshmapana Stotra, Uputro Jayetat Pachidapi Kumata Nabhavati. There may be a son who wrongs his mother, but you are Jagat Janani. You will never wrong us, your children. So even when she kills Rakshasas, she shows them that much mercy. So thus Mahisha was killed, and all the Devatas were happy, and the world was restored to its original peace. Now there is always another element of Devi that we need to keep in mind. So Sadhu Achara is always Samayachara. Samayachara is the equal view of Shiva and Shakti, of Parvati and Parameshwara. So, sorry. So through this whole Leela, so from the time she manifested till the time she killed Mahisha, those who were carefully observing her have seen that Devi is exactly like Shiva. Because for Devi and Shiva, we say Nama Samya. They both have the same name. He is Shivaha, Devi is Shiva. Rupa Samya, they both have 3 eyes. Chandralekha. Then Adhisthana Samya, they both stay in the same place, Kailasa or the Shri Chakra. So for those rishis that are watching, Devi looks exactly, Durga looks just like Shiva from the time. How? So he says, Kali kalpantakala kulamiva sakalam lokamalokya purvam paschat shlishte vishane viditaditi sutta lohita matsarena पादोत्पृष्टे परासो निपतति महिषे प्राक् स्वभावेन गौरी गौरीवः पातु पत्युः प्रतिनयनमिवाविष्कृतान्योन्यरूपा. So it says that the poet here says, as Devi stamps on Mahisha's head, she is acting out different forms. Avishkrita anyonya rupa. She is acting out the different forms of her husband. How? Kalpantakala kulamiva sakalam. So when she first came, she saw that this entire world was in a state of chaos, as if it was the end of the world. Then she thought, wait, it's the end of the world? Oh, so I shouldn't be like this. I need to be Kali. So she became Kali Akara. She became dark in color, tongue stretched out with fangs, eyes, skull, dark, garland, all that. So she became dark. Remember this. She thought that the world was ending. So she took the form she takes when the world ended and became dark in color. Then when she went to battle, Paschat Shlishte Vishane, when Mahisha's horn touched her foot, then Vidita, oh, this is why the world is like this. There is this Rakshasa, there is this Mahisha. Okay, I will now fight him and kill him. So she became Lohita Matsarena, she became red with anger. So before, she thought the world was ending, so she took the form that she takes at Pralaya and became dark in color. Now, when she is fighting Mahisha with anger towards him, she has become Lohita, red. Remember this, she has become red. Then, Paschat Padot Pishte Paraso Nipatiti Mahisha. Once she stamped on Gauri and killed him, Prak Sabhavena Gauri. In her natural, peaceful, calm, benign state, she is she is white in color, Gauri. So, in this way, she has acted out her husband's forms. How is this? Why? Because her husband is Parabrahma. She is Parabrahma Mahishi, right? Kameshwariti, Kamaleti, Maheshwariti, right? Shri Shambhaviti Jagatam Janani Pareti. This is, he says, and then Garuda Dhwaja Sundariti, Gir Devateti in what is this? In Kanakadhara Stotram, right? He says Gir Devateti. You are Gir Devata, you are Saraswati. Garuda Dhwaja Sundariti. You are Vishnu's wife, Lakshmi. Shakambhariti, you are the giver of all food. Shashishekara Vallabheti, you are the wife of Shiva. In Saundarya Lahari, he says one more thing. Turiya Kapitvam, you are not only these 3, you are something beyond these 3. What are you? Maha Maya Vishwam, you are the Maya that makes this world run. Parabrahma Mahishi, you are the Shakti of Parabrahma, of Paramatma. So because she is the Shakti of Paramatma, who is her husband? Paramatma. So when Paramatma wants to create, he becomes red in color, Rajoguna Pradhana, right? He becomes Brahma, red in color. Then when Paramatma wants to sustain, he becomes Vishnu, he is dark in color. Then when Paramatma wants to do Laya, dissolve, he becomes white, Shiva in color. Otherwise, we can think to protect, he takes upon Sattva Guna, which is white. And then to dissolve, he takes upon Tamoguna, which is dark in color. So Devi, in these different forms of white, red, and black, it looks like she is acting out Avishkrita Patyuhu Anyonya Rupa. It looks like she is acting out the different forms that her very own husband takes in his Leela of running this entire universe. So such a beautiful verse, right? So in this way, while she killed Mahisha, she looks like Shiva. Then another beautiful imagination. After Mahisha was killed also, Amma Devi did one thing that made people think that she is just like Shiva. So, Turnan Toshat Turashat Prabhritishu Shamite Shatra Vestotra Kritsu Klante Vopetya Patyus Tata Bhuja Yugalasyalamaalambanaya Dehardhe Geha Buddhim Prativihitavati Lajjayali Akali Krichamvo nichayaiva patita ghanatara shlesha saukhya vihantu. So Turashat prabhutishu. So Turashat Meghavahanah says Amarakosha. So Turashat is Indra. So once Devi Shamite Shatrave, this is called Sati Saptami in grammar. So Shamite Shatrave, literally in the foe being killed, in the enemy being killed. When two modifiers are both put in Saptami Vibhakti in the locative case, there is this thing called Sati Saptami where it also gets the meaning in the case of. So Shamite Shatrave. So when the enemy Mahisha was killed, Turashat Prabhutishu. So all these devatas, as these devatas, Brahma, Indra, Varuna, all these devatas started praising her. As they were praising her, Klanteva Upetya. First of all, Lajjaya, it says that Amora Sigupadindi. She felt a bit abashed. Why? The commentator writes here, Mahatam Pratyakshastuto Lajja Bhavati. Great souls of high character feel very embarrassed when people praise them to their face. So she became a bit embarrassed. So she needed to get out of that situation after she has stepped on Mahisha. So then what did she do? Klanta, Iva, imagine this situation unfolding in front of your eyes. Devi, in her victory, has planted a foot on top of Mahisha. Her valor, she has shown it. Now all of a sudden, she is not a warrior. All of a sudden, she is Shiva's beloved wife. She is the Purastri, Puranari. She is the first woman. So all of a sudden, she becomes, why are all these people praising me in front of me? I'm a bit ashamed. I'm a bit, not ashamed, but I'm a bit embarrassed that they're doing it to my face. I don't know how to react. I now need to get out of the situation. So what did she do? Klanta Iva. She she did a charade. She pretended to be tired. She pretended to be tired. Klanta Iva. That Iva has so much meaning. Klanta means she was actually tired. Klanta Iva means as if acting like she was tired, she went and fell into her husband's embrace. So she went and hugged Shiva. When she did that, what did it look like? When we are tired, where do we go to rest? We go home to rest. So Devi, it also looks like she is going home. Why? Half of Shiva is her home. He is Ardhanarishwara. So only half of the one poet even did. Ardham Danava Vairina Parihritam. So he says to Shiva, Shiva, Devi stole half your body as Ardhanarishwara. Then as Harihara Murti, the other half of your body was stolen by Vishnu. Now where is Shiva? There's only half Vishnu and half Devi. So like that, she exists in half his body. So just as we go to our home when we are tired to rest, Devi falling into his embrace looks like she's falling into half of his body, which is her home. She's going home to rest. What is her home? Half of Shiva's body. Such a beautiful concept, no? So that Ardhanarishwara Tattva is hinted at. Doesn't even say Dehardhe Geha Buddhim Prativihitavati. She thought of half of Shiva's body as her home. Prativihitavati Lajayaliya Kali. So may that Devi Vaha Krichram Nihantu. May she destroy all of your troubles. So in such a way, from start to finish, we have talked about Mahishasura Mardana Leela of Devi. So in Chandi Saptashati, it's a great text. You need Upadesha to do Parayana from a guru. It is split into three main stories. So there is the Purva Charitra. So there, Devi is Yoga Maya and Yoga Nidra, both facets. So Vishnu is sleeping and Devi is what enables him to kill the legendary Rakshasas called Madhu and Kaitabha. In the second story, this is the Madhyama Charitra, where she is Durga and does Mahishasura Samhara. Then in the Uttara Charitra, she is Kali in Saptamatrakas and the summation of all of those who kills the two Rakshasas called Shumbha and Nishumbha. So in that Leela, that is the biggest of them. So out of Devi's anger comes Kali, out of her comes Shivaduti, out of her come the Saptamatrakas, Ashtamatrakas some say. So Varahi, Vaishnavi, Brahmi, Aindri, Kaumari, Narasimhi, Varahi, all of these matrakas come out of her. So these are the three. In the middle is placed this Mahishasura Mardana Leela that we have just talked about start to finish. So all in all, what does this Leela teach us? So this is one more verse that Banabhatta talks about. Samna namna yayoner dhrutirakrita Harer napi chakrena bhedat. I will emphasize certain words. See if you can catch the gist. Samna namna yayoner dhrutirakrita. Harer napi chakrena bhedat. Sendrasyairavanasyaapyupari kalushatah kevalam. Danavrishtya. Danto dandena mrityoho nacha viphalayathoktabhyupayah hataha arihi yena upayas sapadas sukhayatu bhavataha panchamaschandikayah. So here he uses the word chandika. So this is another thing. This is called Chandi Shataka, and Saptashati is also called Chandi Saptashati. Chandi is the name to Devi given when she expresses her anger, when she expresses her valor. Chadi kope, it's an atmanepadi dhatu. Chandate, chandete, chandante. So when she expresses her energy, she is called Chandi. Vyasa Maharshi specifically uses the word Chandi when Durga is fighting Mahishamardini several times. So as you might have noticed, the 4 words I emphasized were Sama, Bheda, Danda. Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. These are what we call upayas. So in Rajaniti and also generally in Subhashitas, we are supposed to employ these 4 methods to tackle any problem that is in front of us. So if we have an enemy, Sama, try to sweetly talk to him, try to convince him through reason. If that doesn't work, Dana, try to, bribe him, give him what he wants, see if that can convince him. Then Bheda. So he has some strength that he feels secure with. Try to separate him from that strength. If he thinks that he has a very good friend because of whom he can do whatever he wants, try to see if you can separate those two. If all of this, only when all else fails, danda, get down to actual war and open conflict. So these are the 4 strategies that we are supposed to use when we tackle our problems. He says using shlesha. Shlesha is getting double meanings using the same letters. So the Devatas tried all 4 of these tactics, but they all were in vain. So Amnaya Yone Samna Dhritirakritat. So Amnaya Yoni, Vedagarbha, Brahma. Brahma tried Sama, but that did not work against him. Meaning Brahma tried to sweetly talk him through, but that did not work. Sama also means Veda. Brahma tried using Veda mantras to stop him, but he managed to escape from all of that. Samna. So by Samna, the double meaning is using Samopaya or using Vedamarga. That did not work. Then Harer napi chakrena bheda. Bheda means to split, right? So Vishnu's Sudarshana Chakra, what does a sharp object do? It splits things, right? It cuts the head off from the body, so it splits. So Vishnu's Chakra too was unable to do Bheda against Mahishasura. It did not work, right? Otherwise Mahisha would have been dead. Durga would not have had to come. So the Bheda Upaya also used by Vishnu did not work. So Bheda Upaya used by Vishnu did not work. His chakra bheda, so his chakra trying to split Mahisha also did not work. Then Sendrasya Iravanasyaapyupari kalushatah kevalam Danavrishtya. So Indra got on his elephant called Airavata, also called Airavana. Airavato Brahmatanga Airavana Brahmavallabha, right? In Amara. So Airavana is Airavata, Indra's elephant. So in Mast, an elephant's cheeks secrete this liquid called Madajala. It's also called Dana. Saptebhya sthanebhya, they say. So in Gajashastra, that liquid drips from 7 parts of the elephant's body. So he says that Indra's elephant in war drenched him in Dana. Dana is a liquid, right? So it drenched Mahisha in Dana, but that also did not change him. Double meaning again. So the Dana, the liquid of Indra's elephant drenched Mahisha, but the Dana Upaya, the means of giving him something to pacify him and convince him also did not work with Mahisha. Again, look, he used an elephant for that. Dana has to do with wealth. Elephants are Lakshmi Chinhas. Elephants are symbols of wealth. So you see, in that way, Dana also did not work with Mahisha. Then there is only one left, Danda. Mrityor Dandena Nadantaha. So Danda also means a stick. Danda also means a stick. So Yama has a Kala Danda. Yama has a staff that he uses to collect the lives of all the beings that are supposed to die. So even Yama's staff was useless against him. Yama's Danda was useless against him. You see? So Yama's staff, the weapon, was useless against him, number 1. The Danda Upaya, so the strategy of openly fighting him also was futile. So do you see? Sama by Brahma. So the Sama Upaya, the sweet talking, was not working. And also Brahma's tactics were also not working. Then Harehe Chakrana Bheda, the Bheda of Harish Chakra, Bheda is splitting, right? So the Bheda Upaya used by Hari did not work. The splitting, the Bheda by Harish Chakra also did not work. Then the Dana Upaya did not work against Mahisha. The Dana Jala of the Dana liquid of Indra's elephant also did not sufficiently restrain Mahisha. Then the Danda, Yama's Danda, the Danda did not sufficiently restrain Mahisha, nor did the Danda Upaya. So the strategy of open conflict. So what happened? Vipal, these words are very important. Banabhatta is a poet of the highest order for this very reason. Not a single word, not a single letter is used without reason. So listen to the word he uses. Vipala yathokta abhyupaya. Abhyupaya, the greatest of all strategies, which are these four. Samadana Bheda Danda. Yathokta, they were carried out exactly as prescribed by the Shastras. So Samadana Bheda Danda, these four were carried out by the Devatas to the best of their abilities as Shastra instructed them. But they were Viphala. They did not yield a visible fruit. So there was a fifth strategy that they sought refuge in to kill the Rakshasa. What is that fifth strategy? It is not Sama, it is not Dana, it is not Bheda, it is not Danda. Padaha. Devi's feet are the last resort that the Devatas used. Such a beautiful concept, no? Samadana Bheda. When all these upayas, when all these strategies fail, the upaya that is sure to work for us every time is Devi's feet. Ammavari Pada Padmale Annitiki Upayamu. They are the last refuge. Now note, when are they the last refuge? Viphala Yathokta Abhyupayaha. If we are doing our best to fight our situation as per our strength, if we are doing that as per Shastra's injunctions, and then if we seek refuge in Devi, then only, whether it be Devi or Bhagavan, then only they will protect us. That's why Bhagavan says in Gita, Yash Shastra Vidhimutsrujya Vartate Kamakarataha Nasa Siddhimavapnoti Nasukham Naparangatim. Those who behave against, contradictory to what Shastra says, they will not find fulfillment of the end that they are looking for. But Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavasthito Nyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. Therefore, Shastra has given us things. We should follow those to the best of our abilities, and at the same time keep in mind that without Devi's Anugraha, none of this will happen. So when all else fails, when all the other upayas fail, Devi's feet are the final point of refuge. They are the unfailing. Sama may fail, Dana may fail, Bheda may fail, Danda may be a complete flop. But if we do our due duty, and if we let one teardrop fall on Devi's feet, that arti, the shuddhi in the arti, the pureness of the heart with which we pray to her, that will cause her to jump into action for our sakes. Which is why they actually put this in a question-answer format. The Shishya asks, Apadi kim karaniyam, what do I do, Guru? What do I do in a tough time? Apadi kim karaniyam. The Guru says, Smaraniyam charanayugalamambayah. You must contemplate and pray to Devi's feet. Tat smaranam kim kurute. I will pray to her feet. What will that do for me though? Brahmadina picha kinkari kurute. It will take the greatest of gods, Brahma, Indra, Rudra. It will take all of those devatas and make them your servants. They will change this entire world in favor of you. So apadikim karaniyam, what do we do when we have trouble? Smaraniyam charanayugala mambaya, we pray to Devi. That smaranam kim gurute, what does that prayer do? Brahma denam apicha kinkari gurute, it makes even the devatas into listening to our requests. So what kind of problems? Small ones, big ones? Should I call her because I didn't do my homework? Should I call her because there is a Mahishasura that's tormenting the three worlds? Doesn't matter. Bandhe, vadhe, mahatishatrubhaye, prasakte, vittakshaye cha, vividhe cha mahopatape, yatpada pujanamiha pratikaramahu, same samasta janani sharanam bhavani. Bandhe, if you are imprisoned. Badhe, if you are in fear of your life. Mahati shatrubhaye prasakte, if you are scared of enemies, whether within or without us. Vittakshayecha, if you are stricken with poverty. Vividhecha mahopatape, etc., etc. There is an unending list of troubles that we can go through. Yat pada pujanamiha pratikaramahu. She whose feet can turn away all such difficulties, can solve all such problems. Same samasta janani sharanam bhavani. She, that Devi, whose feet are the answer to all my problems, she is my refuge. She is my Sharana. So basically, this Durga Avatara is one that shows us that Devi is the collection of all energy and Chaitanya and consciousness in this universe. And she will protect us if we do our due diligence, which is why they say, Prandatajana Tapa Varga, to those who do Namaskaram to us asking for moksha too, she will grant that. So in this, that's also the current state that we're in. If we think about it, it's not like we can enter peace talks with COVID. Sama doesn't work. Dana, what will we give a virus? Dana will not work. Bheda, that virus has no friends. If anything, we making friends and shaking hands seems to be helping it. So Dana does not, Bheda does not work. Danda, I would like to see anyone go to war against a virus. That also will not work. So in this way, when Sama, Dana, Bheda, and Danda have all failed for us, the only thing that remains is seeking refuge in Durga Devi's feet, which is why Sringeri Acharya has instructed all of us. He is Jagat Guru. So he is the Guru to all Astikas. So he has instructed us, Mahanabhavali. They have instructed us to tell this stotram called Durga Parameshwari Stotram. That's the PDF that I had the temple management send out in the newsletter. So previously, this was written by Satchidananda Shivabhinava Nrsimha Bharati Swami, a great tapasvi. He was the one through tapas who discerned that Kaladi was in Kerala, was where Shankaracharya was born, and he did several other things, wrote many, many beautiful stotras. He is the Shankara after Shankara, just like Vidyarani also was. So back in that time, in the late 1800s or so, Sringeri was afflicted by a plague, very much like this. Then Devi appeared to him during dhyana and told him to pray to her using this stotra. So then it had good effects for the people then. So Acharyas, Sringeri Jagat Gurus have released, have made that stotra available to us all. And they gave a small sankalpa to tell before it too. So adhuna, currently, jagati prasaratah jananam pranapaya karasya korona namakasya roga visheshisi nivaranartham. So to solve the situation where corona is plaguing us all, Sringeri Jagat Guru Virajita Shri Durga Parameshwari Stotra Parayanam Karishye. Just tell this once, and then 5 shlokas. It is very small shlokas, and the beauty of these shlokas is, I will quickly tell you the meaning. I don't know if I have much time left. I don't think I have much time left. I will quickly tell you the meaning. The meaning is not so hard to understand as this Chandi Shataka, but it is fit to be spoken to Devi. It is like the stotra is written in the voice of an Artha Bhakta speaking to Devi. So etavantam samayam sarvapadbhyopi rakshanam kritva deshasya paramidanim tatasthankena vahasi Durgamba. So Durga, having protected this country, this world for so long, why are you now being indifferent? Please protect us. Tatasthankena vahasi Durgamba. Aparadha bahushah khalu putranam pratipadam bhavantyeva. Kova sahate loke sarvamstan mataram vihayekam. Children, when they're young, they commit offenses. They will hit their parents with their feet unknowingly. They will do all such things. But, Devi, so a mother will tolerate all of this, right? So you too tolerate whatever offenses we have done and protect us. Then what comes? Tatasthankena Itaf paramva jagadamba jatu deshasya roga pramukhapadosya nasyuhu tatha kuru. So in such a way that such calamities will also not happen to us again. Please bless us that way. And then he ends with one thing. Papa Purna Jana Rakshana Dakshas Santi Nirjaravaraha Nakiyantaha. There are several devatas that are ready to protect people who are pure at heart. But you are a mother. Papa Purna Jana Rakshana Daksham Tvam Vina Bhuviparam Naviloke. So you are a mother. So you are merciful enough to protect us even if we have erred against you. So everyone, please tell the stotram at least once a day. It is Jagadguru's wish order that all astikas should do this. So it's small, it won't take more than 2 minutes. So the least we can do for our fellow citizens and fellow humans is to pray to Durga Devi. So this is for the time being. But I also hope that I was able to convey some of the beauty of Chandi Shataka and the poetry in that. So every day, along with whatever puja and namaskaras we offer, whatever parayanas we do, please also try to look at some poetry about Bhagavan, be it Mukha Panchashati, Saundarya Lahari, this Chandi Shataka. Please do try to integrate some form of the arts into your worship, because two things. One, like I said, people have spent their life in trying to give us these valuable treasures. If forget about the prayer part, the very least we can do to these elders and the kavis and panditas of the past is to protect the Samskriti that they've given us, the art, the work, the culture that they've given us. Second, in Parayana, the mind can only be engaged for so long. This will also give us some time to interact with Bhagavan in our minds. So with these few words, I will tell Mangalam, and then after that, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Shriya Kantaya Kalyana Nidhaye Nidhaye Arthinam Shri Venkata Nivasaya Shri Nivasaya Mangalam Mangala Shasana Parair Madacharya Purogamai Sarvaishcha Purvairacharya Satkatayastu Mangalam Bhumau Skharita Padanam Bhumireva Valambanam Tvijata Paradhanam Tvameva Sharanam Shive Ito Nrasimha Parato Nrasimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrasimha Bahirnrasimho Hridaye Nrasimha Nrasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye Ranata Janata Pavarga Krita Ranasarga Sasimha Samsarga Kamakshamudita Bharga Hatripu Varga Tvameva Sa Durga Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Tyambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Swasti Prajabhya.
Thank you, Lalith Garu. Thank you very much. On behalf of the exec team of AHD, I would like to really thank you and appreciate for coming over and giving this wonderful discourse for all of us. So if you can, I request you to stay here so that we can give
if there is time, if people want to ask questions, I'm fine with that too. If there is time and if that is okay with programs.
Yeah. Anybody has you can take a couple of questions because priests there are waiting after the Abhishekam and Alankar. If anybody has just 1 or 2 questions, that would be great. Please ask.
లలిత్ గారు, నా పేరు చంద్రశేఖర్ అండి. నేను డాలస్ నుంచి మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. నేను మాటల్లో చెప్పలేను నేను ఇవాళ ఎంత అనుభూతిని పొందాను. ప్రస్తుతం నా మానసిక పరిస్థితికి ఇవాళ దుర్గా స్తోత్రం చాలా కరెక్ట్గా యాప్ట్గా సరిపోయింది. అదే మిమ్మల్ని చూశాక ఈ వీడియోలో గురుదర్శనం అని చెప్పి అన్న మాట నా మనసులో భావన వచ్చింది. అయితే నాకున్న ప్రశ్న ఏమిటంటే, ఇవాళ మీరు నమశివాయ, ఇది ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఉంది నాకు ఈ ప్రశ్న, మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతాను ఇవాళ సందర్భం కాబట్టి. ఇప్పుడు నమశివాయలో శివ శివ 2 ఉన్నాయని చెప్పి అని అంటాం కదా, మరి అక్షరపరంగా చూస్తే నమశివాయ అంటే శివుడికి నమస్కారం అనే ఉంది కదా, ఇందులో శివుడు పార్వతి ఇద్దరు ఉన్నట్లుగా ఎట్లా భావించటము అనేది కొంచెం ఎలాబరేట్ చేస్తే.
ఇది మనకి భగవద్గీత బ్రహ్మణో హి ప్రతిష్ఠాహం అనే వాక్యానికి భాష్యం రాస్తూ శంకరాచార్యులు బ్రహ్మణో హి ప్రతిష్ఠాహం అనే దానికి రాస్తూ శక్తి శక్తిమతోః అభేదత్వాత్ అన్యోన్యత్వాత్ అని చెప్పి ఒక మాట అంటారు. మనము శక్తికి శక్తి కలిగిన వాడికి అనగా ప్రకృతికి పరమేశ్వరుకి పరమేశ్వర శక్తికి మనం అభేదం చెప్తాము. కాబట్టి ఆ పరంగా ఒకటి. రెండవది, ఆ మంత్రములో అక్షరపరంగా శివ అనేది దేవి అనే అర్థాన్ని చెప్తుంది. శివాయ అంటే శివుడికి అని చెప్పి ఆ అక్షరాల్లో శివాయ అని చెప్పి శివుడి పరంగా వస్తుంది. శివ అనే అక్షరాల వరకు ఆ పదస్వరూపంలో మాత్రం అమ్మవారు ఉన్నారు. శివాయ అంటే
పుల్లింగం కూడా అందులో ఉన్నాడని. నమస్కారం.
One more.
Thank you, Andy. Anybody else has any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so I was like writing down as much as I could understand.
Hmm.
I have like, what were the 5 methods or 4 methods?
Nice. So 4 methods. 4 methods are given to us. Sama. Sama is the diplomatic tactic. So being nice to them, talking it out. Then dana, giving them whatever they want to make them change their mind. Dana. Then bheda. Bheda is causing a split between them and whatever makes them feel confident. Sama, dana, bheda. Then danda. Danda is open conflict, open war. Then this is the poet's poetry there. So these 4 are the only upayas. He's saying that a 5th solution to something that is not solved by these 4 is doing namaskaram to Dev.
Okay, thank
If you have any more questions, I will stay on. We can talk after the temple karikrama is over, the puja karikrama is over.
Excellent. Thank you all. Thank you, Lalitji. We'll move to the other session of Archana and Alankaram. Okay.